Yeah, anybody wants to say something?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to ask one question. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, I wanted to ask that, ma'am, I have actually pursued, yeah, school counseling course, ma'am. I'm doing this school counseling from course from ICS, that is Indian Counseling
Okay.
Service. So, ma'am,
Okay.
how can I do the internships?
Ma'am, these are the questions that you can ask at the end of the webinar, this class. First, I'll just introduce you guys with everything and then we can proceed ahead. You can ask these questions in the end. Okay. Or you can,
Okay,
you
ma'am.
have an assigned counselor with you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can ask these questions to her. Okay. So I'll just start with my
Okay,
introduction
ma'am.
and then we'll be moving ahead. Okay. So my name is Aisha and I'm working as a professional counselor in the Indian Counseling Services. And I hope you guys are aware what Indian Counseling Services is. Right. ICS is a globally tech organization, and we're working on international basis in two departments. That is in in training programs and one-on-one counseling that we provide. Right. So jumping to the part where what is the exact purpose for this webinar? So basically, most of you guys are actually willing to join ICS, I guess, right? If I'm not wrong. So the purpose of this webinar to make you understand and to show you the value of the classes that we are providing. Right. So you'll be able to understand it like how the classes are going to be in future. Whichever the course you will be joining, whatever the training you guys will be having, it is going to be under the experienced psychologist that we have right now. So she's going to continue the webinar and you will be able to understand properly that how the classes are going to be done in further. Okay. Yeah, I request everybody to just one by one introduce themselves, and I'll be just forwarding this particular meeting to Akriti ma'am. Akriti ma'am, are you available to take this meeting forward?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And like, over to you, Akriti ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you
Good
so much
evening,
for
ma'am.
patiently waiting.
And
Good evening, ma'am.
good
Good
evening, ma'am.
evening. Good evening. Also,
Good
so
evening,
good to
ma'am.
see familiar faces here. We all are
You all
doing
are
great.
doing great.
All right.
All right.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, could you please help me with the internships? How can we proceed with the internships?
Okay. So it's Benita, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So Benita, as I think Aisha also mentioned, so we can take the questions in the end. Okay. Also, for the internships, your admission counselor, you have allotted counselors, right? So they can answer better and in detail. Okay, so they can give you full information about the same. Also, I can discuss a slide about it in the end. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
all right. So welcome you all to this amazing webinar where you are going to take a lot of takeaways and also might be joining future courses with ICS, right? Okay, so our today's topic is very important as well as very interesting, right? It's anxiety. Anxiety seems to be a very, like, it's a word like, okay, I'm feeling anxious, or, sometimes we feel anxiety. Like, a lot of people go through this. It seems like a word, but it's actually a lot, right? When we go in detail and when we study it deeply, it's actually a lot. So, first of all, let me ask you, like, if I ask you what anxiety is, or have you ever experienced anxiety? So, what is that? And what would be your answer?
Stress.
Stress. Okay.
Yeah.
You can raise your hand. You can. You can raise your hand one by one, else you can put it on the chat box. Yeah. Yes. Madhuri.
Yeah. When you're in an anxious state, it is like you feel there's something happening which is not in your control. So you feel a little lost.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Madhuri, for that. Yes, Anita.
गुड इवनिंग मैम
Good.
एक्चुअली मेरे हिसाब से एंजाइटी एक्चुअली जब मैं बहुत ज्यादा एंगर में हो जाती हूँ और कुछ ऐसा हो जाता है कि जिससे मैं स्ट्रेस में आ जाऊँ तो फिर बाद में वो एंजाइटी का रूप ले लेती है
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Anita. Okay. Yes, Paula.
So fear and having some palpitation about a particular thing, sweating, etc. Having
Yes,
stomach upset.
absolutely. Palpitations, stomach upset. Absolutely. Thank you, Paula. Yes, Khushbu. I'm reading the chat box also. You can put your answers in
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Anxiety comes when, fear of being perfection, having that perfection. Like, if you are not able to do that thing perfectly, so being judged from the society, like she's not perfect, like being pointed out for small, small imperfect things.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Khushbu. Okay, pressure we take for not getting things done. Stress happens after the anxiety or before. Extreme depression. Okay. When you lost control of outer circumstances and impact in inner world. Okay. Overthinking. Yes. Confusion state of stress. Okay. Overthinking or overstressing causes of anxiety is caused from. Okay. Overthinking could be the reason. All right. Okay, so let me just quickly present my screen. Let's start with this. Thank you for your responses. Okay, give me a thumbs up once the screen is visible to you. Oops, sorry. Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. So this will be discussed later. So if we talk about anxiety, okay. So anxiety, again, like what you said, it's a form of stress. Okay. So when we take a lot of stress, when we keep thinking, also it starts from our thoughts, right? Thoughts, then emotions, and then again, like it takes a form of your mental issue or the issue that is, causing as physical symptom or the mental symptom, right? So stress, when we understand, first we will understand about what stress is, and then later on when we'll go to anxiety, because that's how it is all related. Some of you also mentioned that overthinking is a part. Some of you also mentioned extreme depression. Okay, this can also take the form of it. Okay, when when stress is too much or anxiety becomes in extreme, then it can also take the form of symptoms of depression. First symptoms of depression and then later on a diagnosed one, but not necessarily that every time that can happen. During depression also or symptoms of depression, anxiety can also take place. So not necessarily that only it starts from stress, then anxiety, then depression. So it can start in depression also. It can have when you have excessive stress also, or people also have only anxiety, right? But here, what the starting point is, it starts from your thoughts, right? That's the first thing. So one thought is there, and mostly when the thoughts are negative, the pattern is negative, and then stress takes place, and then anxiety, right? So it's a natural process, right? So when we are talking about stress, so definitely stress is a natural process when we are thinking about something too much. Okay, maybe like tomorrow you have an interview, okay, or maybe right now after this you have another class, or maybe you're going to start a course, okay. So you will be thinking about it, or maybe you have other things also, other responsibilities also, and then all of it you are thinking that okay, how am I going to do it now, and then you are stressing about it, constantly thinking, okay. There would be like multiple thoughts or just one or two thoughts, and then sometimes it's like it becomes overthinking, and now you're stressing on that, and that causes anxiety also, right? So everything is connected. Okay, mild stress could also be there, moderate stress, like a level up form, and then there would be severe level stress or anxiety as well, right? These are the levels of an issue, right, of stress and anxiety. Okay, so when we have stress also, we have increased heart rate. Sometimes people feel breathless also. There are, like there is pain in stomach, or there is stomach upset, or we feel like very like severe aches, severe aches. Okay, sometimes you feel pukish also, vomiting bhi hoti hai, right? When you are too much stressed about something, yes, this happens, but symptoms vary in person to person. This doesn't happen with everybody, okay, who is under too much stress or who's under too much anxiety. The symptoms are like these are the highlighted symptoms, but not every time that, or not necessary that all the symptoms will happen with each person. Okay, it varies, and depending on how your body is responding at that time, right? Sometimes only breathlessness is there. Sometimes only palpitations is there. Only increased heart rate is there. Sometimes only like, there is stomach ache or stomach upset when you are anxious or when you're too much stressed about something, right? These are the physical changes is happening, and mental changes is constantly you are thinking about that. Maybe that could be just one situation or one reason, right? Or maybe there is a chaos of thoughts and you're not able to deal with that, right? So it could be both the ways. Okay. So these are the emotional symptoms that take place. Okay, become agitated, frustrated, moody, mood swings are there. See, don't get confused with like sudden mood swings. Okay, that doesn't happen. But yes, frequent it can happen. Okay, so if like for no reason you're just feeling like low, okay, you're also frustrated, you're also like feeling like crying, but mostly there are negative emotions. It's very hard when you are stressed, you can feel happy. It's very hard. It will be a forced thing then, right? Because it depends on the situation also. If there is a family gathering or everybody is happy there, then you just don't want to show that. Okay, and you're just covering up your stress. So it's like you're showing your forced smiling face, okay, forced happiness, but it's not coming from within. Mostly this also happens. So that's why we say na these issues or the mental health issues also these are silent issues, right? You won't even get to know that somebody is under stress or somebody is having depression or depressive symptoms, right? It's silent also most of the time. But till the time you talk to the person, till the time you know it, so you won't come to know. And same is with you. These are the changes, these are the signs that you get to know that yes, something is wrong with you, or something like you are under something, or maybe an issue is taking place, right? This seems very very direct, very that even you also know about this. But when it comes to you, when you start feeling, it's very difficult to deal with it. Very difficult. Sometimes even you are under stress, you don't even know what the reason is. You don't even know what are you feeling. Sometimes it starts with a feeling and you don't know. So we also, in such cases, we also need to get a physical checkup done when there is physical changes in the body, right? Not necessarily every time, oh, ye to stress hi hoga. This is a form of stress only, right? So we can't take that risk also. So these are the emotional symptoms. I'm talking about the physical symptoms also. I'm getting to that slide, right? So feeling overwhelmed or you are losing control or need to take the control, everything like, losing control sometimes, or sometimes you feel that, okay, everything should be in control or you can manage or control everything, which is not possible, right? And that becomes too overwhelming for you, right? Having hard time to relax or quiet your mind. Definitely no relaxation. Your mind, like the thoughts keep running in your mind. So there is no peace at all. Even if you try to rest, even if you try not to think about it, but more you say, I don't want to think about it, the more thoughts will come. There is no point of avoiding it. No point. It's all about addressing, no avoidance here, right? Feeling bad about yourself, there is low self esteem, there is also feeling lonely, there is also worthless, there is helplessness. Of course, these are the highlighted symptoms of emotional symptoms of depression, too, right? But again, what I said is it starts from here. Not necessarily all of it is happening. These are the examples I've given, like, could be one, could be two, can happen from this. Okay. Then we have physical symptoms: low energy, constant headaches, upset stomach, diarrhea, nausea, aches, pains, muscle tense. We also feel when we are stressed here in the neck, right? Backside, or on the heaviness on the shoulders, or heaviness in the chest most of the time. That also we feel when we are anxious, right? So this is not just the symptoms of stress, it's the symptoms of anxiety as well. It takes place in, like, you feel anxious at the same time, right? Chest pains or rapid heartbeat or palpitations, insomnia, you lose sleep. Okay, we can, or a person can develop insomnia. Okay, not necessarily insomnia will happen. It starts from sleep disturbances. Okay, not able to sleep, not able to, what the sleep cycle, or maybe sometimes sleeping too much. That can also happen, right? And also, we have stress eating, gaining weight also, or not at all. A lot of times we feel that, when we are anxious or when we are stressed, so we don't feel like eating. So we feel like, a very different feeling over here in our food pipe to stomach. And it's like the food is not literally doesn't go inside. This happens, or has it ever happened it with you? If you are stressed or if you feel anxious about something, कभी हुआ ऐसा किसी के साथ? Or
Like
maybe
some,
like there is stress eating happen, like,
I
most of
do
the
have
time it's sweet. Yes, it happens.
like nausea.
Yes,
I had that experience, man. Diarrhea,
yes,
nausea.
diarrhea, not sure. Yes, absolutely. Or sometimes like you eat too much, or mostly sugar.
Yes,
Talking,
yes, sugar intake.
yes, sugar intake is high.
Yes.
So that
We feel
like,
like eating
Yes,
is that.
ma'am.
yes, we feel like eating.
I feel
Okay.
like eating more.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So it's both the ways again. Okay. So it's not only about too much eating or no eating at all. So it can happen like in both the ways. Okay. Also, frequent cold infections, nervous shakings of, okay, or maybe some sweaty hands or feet, like sweating, constant sweating is there. Maybe some constantly it happens in anxiety, but if you're stressing, but most of the time, like, stressing on something too much, then you feel like, your body becomes warm. Okay. So I'll tell you like what we actually do later on when this happens. Okay. So right now I'm just telling you the symptoms. Okay. Then dryness of mouth is there. When you're in, like, you're anxious or when you're stressing too much, then there is dryness, or you like keep taking water or you want water every time. This happens. Okay. And then also there is loss of, like, you also tend to feel like you don't feel like talking to people. Okay. Loss of desire also, sexual desire, okay, with your partner. Okay. When you are under stress, you don't feel like doing it. Or sometimes it's the way of releasing the stress. Okay. But like it's in both the ways. Not necessarily. It's like maybe sometimes just the conversation or talking. It's just like a comforting conversation you can have not only with your partner, anybody, like with your family, your friend, anybody. Or sometimes, or most of the time, it happens you don't feel like talking at all about it. Okay. Then there is constant worrying, racing of thoughts, inability to focus, or being pessimistic or seeing only the negative side of things. So mostly the mind is working negative. So obviously you will see negative side. It's very difficult for you to think positively or think the positive side of that, right? Then behavioral symptoms. Okay, sometimes when a person is stressed, eating too much. Again, I told you already, eating too much or not eating at all. Procrastination is there. Okay, delaying your work, avoiding responsibilities, more use of alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, or like getting, there is a high risk of getting into addiction. High risk. Okay, not necessarily that every time the person can take, but yes, like they feel, or a lot of time the alcohol drugs can release, like because that's a temporary release you get from a stressful situation, right? So they take help from alcohol or drugs, and they think that okay, it's a release, it's a good thing, and then they slowly get into or slip into addiction form. Okay, again I'm repeating, not necessarily that it will go to that stage, but maybe that could be the temporary stage till the time the situation is resolved. Okay, having more nervous behaviors, nail biting, fidgeting. Okay, nail biting constant. Sometimes have you seen that sometimes somebody is sitting like and tapping on the table constantly, tapping their feet also, right? And like they're getting anxious about it. Okay, so this can also happen. Fidgeting, constantly doing something with, like if I have this, like with my phone, oops, with my phone, so I'm doing like this constantly, something or the other. They need to for fidgeting, they need some object. Okay. Then we come to anxiety. As I said, that anxiety is a form of stress. When there is excessive stress, so that takes a form of anxiety. Okay. So when you are feeling anxious, so definitely you feel it more here in the chest. Okay. We lot of times when you feel anxious, so there is a fear. Okay. We are developing a fear, right? So something that is not going to happen, maybe, or something like we feel that, oh, something may going to happen or might happen, right? And thinking about that thing or thinking about the future, that makes us more anxious. Okay. So it's constantly running of thoughts, constantly like that uneasiness, that fearful thoughts, that negative thought pattern, that rapid heartbeat, and like you get breathless also. Sometimes it get to that level where we get severe anxiety, can also get into anxiety or panic attacks, where a person is not able to deal with situation and they're trying to like literally get breathless. Sometimes they get too breathless that they get into some heart disease also because of stress, because of excessive thinking about things. You must be aware about it, right? So some a lot of times the heart rates or heart attack, that is like it's increasing because of the level of stress and unexpressed stress, unexpressed emotions. These are the because of the suppressing, right? And sometimes even the person doesn't even get to know about the that stress they have been carrying all this while, right? So that is also like maybe the constant fear is there. Again, there is no they don't even talk about it. They don't even share, or they don't have somebody or a person to share that, right? So that can
Because,
also take a
ma'am,
form of
the moment someone shares, no, they say like, this is a very small thing. Why are you bothering about it? They don't try to understand the intensity,
right,
how other person is feeling.
right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. And most of the time, people, like that's a fear. The moment they tell what the other person will think, or fear of judgment, or fear of like the other person will not listen or acknowledge that, right? So that is also that like make them feel or not to express or not to mostly suppress it. And this, it's not, I'm not like being talking about the genders here. It's about the individual. Okay, we are not going like stress or anxiety level is like mostly higher in women, not in men, but it's both the ways now. Okay. And yes, talking about specifically for men, it's like there is more heart rates. Why? Because there is lack of emotional expression, lack of expressing. They are not able to express because of the conditioning that you need to suppress. Yeah, because of the thing that they don't like, even if they try to express. So a lot of times, like, people say something or not like interested in listening to them. So that's why the increased anxiety, or if I say stress levels, or increased heart rates or heart attacks, are like mostly seen in men over the years. That's the study I'm telling you, right? But again, will not go for the with the gender, so it will be considering as an individual here, right? But I think like everybody would agree with this. Okay, so these are the stages of anxiety. Okay, so this is mild anxiety, then there is moderate anxiety, and then there is severe anxiety, and then there is panic level anxiety, right? So mild, I said, like, this is like where it starts. Okay, so where it starts, like one situation, or maybe like, just thinking about it, just a thought, and then like, it comes to, okay, like sometimes they feel like, okay, it's going out of hand, or otherwise like it's like, okay, manageable after some time. But that's not necessary that they'll be able to manage, but yes, thinking about it and feeling anxious about it, like breathlessness, again, like they feel breathy, but on the very mild level, right? Moderate is again the upper level of it. Okay, one level up. The heartbeat is heart is racing. Okay, stomach pains are there, dryness of mouth is there. So through physical changes, we get to know more, because mind is like constantly running. Thoughts are there, but through that we get to know that more, right? Then there is severe. In severe, there is a possibility that whatever the symptoms we have discussed, all the symptoms can take place, or at least 4 to 5 symptoms, or more than 5 symptoms can take place, okay, in an extreme form, right? That comes to the severe level, okay. Also, when we have severe level anxiety, that there are chances that it can get converted into anxiety disorder, okay. Chances, right? Because when we have like the diagnostic criteria, if we say, so like the diagnostic criteria should have at least 5 to 6 symptoms, okay, then like it can come under the umbrella of the disorder, right? But here I'm like not highlighting the disorder, but there are chances, if it gets to the severe level, then it can get to the criteria of disorder, right? Then panic level anxiety is like again the intense form of anxiety, where a person gets panic about, like, be panic, can get into the panic attack state, right? Getting frequent panic attacks, getting like constantly thinking about it, and like having those fearful situations most of the time, like developing that fear, or even if the thing is not there exactly, but also in normal situations also, they are not able to function properly, like everything is overwhelming for them, everything, right? Okay, got an idea till here? Yes. So what I want you to do is, I'm just talking about some techniques. Okay, so our techniques, we'll do it through activities. Okay, so you got an idea about anxiety. There are anxiety disorders, but I think like this is the highlighted way. Like we were just talking about anxiety disorders comes later. So that's like that will be included maybe like in later on when we'll do the course, that will be included in that. But right now this is the heightened form. If I ask you that when you feel anxious, okay, so what is the first thing you do? Or when you see somebody is anxious, okay, or like too much anxiety is there, so what is the first thing you can do? Put it on the chat box. Think and then answer. Breathe, be calm. Validate that they are feeling that way. Okay, drink water, breathing exercise, deep breathe, feeling calm. Okay, great. So breathing, feeling calm, that's the first thing. Tap on their shoulder and say it will be okay. Okay. Withdraw from the situation. Okay. Communicate in sweet voice, smiling with them and make them comfortable. Yes, very important. Okay, be positive. Be positive. Okay, I'll give some water to them to drink. Okay, listen to music. All right. Okay. All right. So first we'll start with breathing techniques here. Okay. So when somebody is anxious, first of all, use of statements will not work here. Okay. If you say that everything will be fine, the person will get more anxious. Trust me on that. Okay. So why? Because they are not in the state to listen to that. Right? They're just like feeling negative about things. And if even imagine if you are in a negative situation, I'm telling you that, think positive, everything will be fine. Will it be, okay with you? Like you'll start thinking positive. Is it the right thing to say? No, right? Because it's not possible, right? So at that time, you really need to calm the person down. Okay. Be with that person. But here, since you are learning, so you can also, do these techniques with the person, right? First, right now, I'm giving like, always remember when a person is anxious, make eye contact with them. Ask them to make eye contact. Okay. Ask them, is it okay if I hold your hands? If not, it's okay. But don't hold their hands without asking them. Because sometimes people doesn't like that. Right? Even you won't like it if somebody do that. Okay. So ask them and constant eye contact should be there. Okay. And with that eye contact, now breathe with me. Okay. Postures proper, please, with all of you. Just relax your body. Okay. Eye contact is for your learning. Right now, close your eyes. We'll do 5 times. Okay. Now slowly breathe in, very slowly, and take a deep breath as deep as you can. Okay. Hold, hold there for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and slowly calm down. Very slowly come down. Okay. It's a very slow release. Now take a pause. Again, take a deep breath. Go, 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 go up. Hold, hold, and slowly release. Now again, go up. Please go very slow. Okay. Hold and slowly release. Now again, when you will breathe, your hands will go up with your breathing. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Up in the air. Open your arms and hold and very slowly release with your hands down. Very slowly. Okay. One more time and last time you will do it same way. Breathe in, up, and hold, and slowly release. And slowly rub your hands, rub your palms. Little faster. Put it on your eyes, in your face, and relax. One more time, rub your hands, keep it on your eyes, and just relax. Very slowly connect back with me. Open your eyes. Breathing it's a mandatory thing, but when you feel anxious, this is the best way. But as I said, if you're doing it with the other person to calm them down in that situation, make eye contact. Okay. First, breathe, breathe faster, slight faster. Ask them to do, and then go very slow. Okay. Because you want the person to imitate you at that time. They won't be able to do it. Okay. On their own. So you want like from faster to slow. Faster ऐसा नहीं. No, don't. Okay. Calm, breathe. Okay. Like that. And then second thing is someone mentioned that you're going to give water to the person. Try to give cold water. This is, I'm saying, in the emergency situation. Even if you are also in that situation, nobody is there, try to grab cold water. Okay, cold water, like normal water would do if cold water is not available. But in this situation, we try and prefer cold water. Okay, because that helps in calming down. Warm water will, like, in the body, it warm or like normal water or lukewarm water, it can increase the levels in the body. Okay, so try and avoid that. Right? These are the immediate and in the emergency situations I'm saying. Right? Okay. So that you can control the person. Also, you can manage yourself also if nobody is around you. Right? I'm not saying only in the severe level stages, but here mostly when the person is feeling breathless. So this is the first thing that you need to do. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to give you another technique here. Okay. This is not like mostly in anxiety situation, not like every time it's the emergency situation or severe situation. So even if there is mild anxiety, so we do it in calming the anxiety down. Okay. All of you have pen and paper, right? Okay. So I'm going to play music for all of you. Okay. So just build a connection with the music, and with that flow, go ahead, hold your pen, pencil, whatever you have, even a color pen would work. Okay. And then slowly move on the paper. Okay. Start with a slow process and then you can take it faster. See, it's all about how you do it. We know scribbling, we know, like, how we go ahead with the pattern. These are the mindfulness techniques. Okay. But this is the first where you need to calm down. Okay. Calming your anxiety level. So if the anxiety on the is on the rate like 10, okay, or 9, that's on the higher side. So we keep the rating scale. Okay, we keep asking the person that, okay, now what's the anxiety level? If it's 10, so we every time, like, we do it because we need to start. So through mindfulness techniques, we can go ahead and calm the anxiety levels down. Right? Okay. Now I'm playing the music for all of you. First, like with the music, if you want to close your eyes, you can with the music just for a minute or so, and then you can start. But uh, it's not only about the faster movement. See how your hand is moving. Okay, be mindful about it, where it is going, but don't go ahead with, okay, how perfectly am I doing, whether it is going in the right direction or not. Just like create a mess, but that will be a beautiful mess, right? Okay, so just give me a minute.
Ma'am, Sirupma, can you please repeat what to do again? Actually, my side was little issue in there.
Can you repeat your question?
No, can you please let me know what to do again? Like,
Just
like,
listen to the music. Take your
okay,
pen, then make the connection with the music, and just move on the paper. Okay?
okay, okay,
In any
okay,
direction. Just go free move.
okay, okay.
Feel the sound. You can close your eyes and build a connection. Feel the vibration from the music in your body. How the water is flowing. Back. That flow of water. Will flow on your paper. Different directions. Just freely without caring about points flow and don't get emotional. Just feel everything is flowing in your body. You can just look at your hand, how it's flowing on the paper. How is the paper feeling? Go with the moment. Let your thoughts flow. Let your emotions flow. Feel each and everything. If there are thoughts running in your mind, or if there is a repetition in your thought, then you can write it once you feel like stopping. You can write it at the back.
Ma'am, what music is this? It's such a nice music.
Okay, I'm sharing the link with everybody. Okay, you can use it. You want to practice. I've shared the link in the chat box. Okay. How is your process for all of you? Were you able
Nice.
to connect?
I mean, the sounds, it makes me, it makes me goes to my past. I mean, my childhood memories. It brought all my childhood memories and, the days I had, like played with my parents, my father. We were running here, there, and it was really great, ma'am.
Nice, nice. Very sweet. Great, great. What about others? You all were able to connect? Any disturbance in between? Anything that bothered you? Any sort of negativity? So it was completely for anxiety relaxation. But yeah, just checking.
I
Yeah,
felt
it was very relaxing.
Yeah, I felt like I'll sleep in another 2 minutes.
Yes. So the basically the water sound is like that. So it's
Waterfall.
quite relaxing. Yes.
Mm.
So that's soothing. So see, like since we discussed the technique, this is one you can practice. Like even like not necessarily this is one of the highlighted technique that we use when people have anxiety, right? You can use it otherwise also. Even if like, when you feel some confusion, when you feel that you're stuck somewhere, so this can help you to get a clarity on certain things. And also try to do it before you go off to sleep. So you will get a good sleep after that, right? So go ahead with just 5-10 minutes. That's it. Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any doubts? Anything you want to ask? You can quickly go ahead with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Who is that?
Ma'am Suhani.
Yes, Swani.
मैम आई वांट टू आस्क दैट कि ऐसा क्यों होता है कि मतलब जब मैं वो साउंड सुन रही थी तो
Hmm.
मेरे दिमाग में कुछ चल रहा था बट मैं अगर हेड डाउन करी थी तो मुझे ज्यादा अच्छा लग रहा था इंस्टेड ऑफ कि मतलब सर ऊपर कर रखा है तो कुछ फील नहीं हो रहा था सर नीचे करके ज्यादा अच्छा लग रहा था
सर ऊपर रख के कैसा फील हो रहा था?
ऐसा लग रहा था कि कुछ है ही नहीं मतलब हैवीनेस लग रहा था कि नहीं नहीं कुछ कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा
पोस्चर तो नहीं था कुछ? कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है.
नहीं
तो
मैम मैं
when
बैठी हूँ एंड बैठे वक्त मतलब सर ऐसे डाउन करके सोचना मतलब आंखें बंद करके
आंखें बंद करके, क्योंकि जब आप हेड डाउन करके बैठे हो तो आपका माइंड हेड भी रिलैक्स था ना, बॉडी उस टाइम ऐसे रिलैक्स थी, तो वो ज्यादा आप उस टाइम कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हो. काफी बार ऐसा भी होता है, दो लाइक वी ऑल आर सिटिंग इन दिस पोजिशन, बट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम एंड नॉट नेसेसरली कि हम इस पोजिशन में कनेक्टिव हो जाए, राइट? कभी कभी उसी में ही आपके थॉट चलते हैं, लाइक ऐसे आप कभी कभी अलर्ट पोजिशन में भी होते हो, यू आर नॉट एबल टू कनेक्ट with things, and then like constant like then thinking is happening, and like that is bothering you also. So maybe that could be the reason. So if you see like if it's okay with you for head putting your head down, that's okay. Go ahead with that. Whichever way you feel relaxed. That's the whole point of doing the activity. You also do it while lying down. So it's not only about sitting in the alert position or doing that. No, your body should be completely relaxed. So lie down. Like when I do it personally, I always lie down. Okay. And then like when I connect with the music. So when I do the scribbling part, then I get up and do it. Okay. So that's the way of doing it. And like whichever way you feel comfortable. Okay. Overthinking is where you need to address your thoughts, okay, but take it one by one. If you try to like mix up your thoughts and think about like everything in one go, then overthinking will happen more, right? So overthinking could be of like because of only one thought, and because of that one thought or maybe one situation, you're getting multiple thoughts. Okay. So think about where it is coming from. It's very important to get to the deep root cause of that. What is it? Where it is coming from? What situation related to it? Any person specific related to it? Then we need to go ahead with the solution of that problem. So that's where and go one by one if there are multiple thoughts. If there is one, then we need to find the reason why and where it is coming from. Then it slightly becomes easier. And you need to handle the situation in a very, first you need to calm yourself down. Okay. Then only you'll be able to handle, because overthinking, lot of times when you get anxious while you're overthinking, then it is very difficult for you to get to that deep rooted cause where it is coming from. Okay. So try not to go to the outcome. First, take the first step, the baby step, the initial step that you need. First, address the thought, acknowledge the thought. What is it? What is it? Okay. Mostly go ahead with writing it. I understand I'm telling you acha, writing thoughts, or it's it's difficult. I'm not saying it's very easy for me to go step by step. Writing, addressing, acknowledging, then going ahead with that, the process becomes slightly easier then. But it takes time. right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Ankush has a question. Stress happens after anxiety or before anxiety? So as we discussed, Ankush, stress is like anxiety is a form of stress. Where stress is where you're thinking about something where you are like constantly under stress, so that can also cause anxiety. Where sometimes it's the silent stress, sometimes it is only anxiety. Okay, so it can be both ways, but mostly when there is something, when there is a situation you are stressing about something, so that causes anxiety most of the time, right?
मैम
Yes.
व्हाट इफ कि ओवर थिंकिंग हैव बिकम आवर नेचर, मतलब हम उसके वी आर वेरी मच यूज टू ऑफ इट, व्हाट इफ इट इज लाइक दैट, तो हम उसको कैसे ग्रेजुअली चेंज कर सकते हैं?
So if it has become your nature, then you really need to practice these mindfulness techniques first, because otherwise you won't be able to calm yourself down. You, while you are overthinking, like it has become your part of the personality, but it is very like then it becomes very difficult to like take it out from there. So it has to be slowly like you need to fade that down. ओके, तो वो फेडिंग से जाएगा, लाइक धीरे 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 जाएगी। तो वो एक जब आपका स्ट्रॉन्ग कनेक्शन बिल्ट होगा अपने आप से, तभी उसकी इंटेंसिटी कम होती रहेगी दूसरी साइड पे, राइट? सो इट विल नॉट लाइक ओके टेकिंग इट आउट लाइक दैट, वो पर्सनालिटी का पार्ट बन चुका है तो बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा उसके बाद, बट इट टेक्स टाइम, बट if you keep working on it and you need to be consistent with the technique. So mindful, this is just an example that I've given you. What activity you did. You can do other mindfulness techniques also. We have like multiple hundred of the mindfulness techniques. Okay. So like later on, if you get a chance to like take another session with me, so I will highlight the techniques, the mindfulness techniques. But mostly when we talk about mindfulness techniques, a lot of times these creative techniques help. And I'm seeing like a great response from people that these creative techniques are helping better in every possible
Ma'am,
way. Not just drawing, but other techniques also, right? Some movements also. Any mindful movements you can do. Not a meditation, I'm saying like any movement. Goes like, with nature connection, anything, any mindful techniques. So
Okay.
that helps you to like slowly start reducing the intensity of over.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, how to cope up with the stress when it has a negative symptom like IBS, gas, acidity, or diarrhea?
Cope up with a negative symptom.
But how
Then
to cope up with the stress when it has a negative symptom like IBS, acidity, gas, and
hmm.
diarrhea?
So see, even when you have that, so that's a like that's a extended form of stress you have. Like that's an intense form of stress you have, right? So that's why you're feeling these symptoms, right? So in that case, of course, again the calm. You need to calm yourself down first. Thoughts, thoughts से ही आता है stress सबसे ज़्यादा, like you feeling stressed because of that only, right? So put that first on the paper, what it is, why you're feeling, what is it, what you are feeling at that time. Okay, first you need to reduce the anxiety level or the stress level down. Okay, also as I said, not necessarily don't connect, like if you have stomach issues, stomach ache, stomach pain, if it is constantly happening, okay, like more than 2 days or 3 days, so please consult a doctor. Okay, you cannot rely on the stress levels, then you cannot rely on that. Okay, then in that case maybe you need some medication. Okay, in anxiety levels also, when there is increased anxiety rate, so along with the with these techniques or along with the counseling process, we also prescribe, like not I, but yes, refer to the psychiatrist to prescribe medications for anxiety or stress. Okay, so medication like helps to reduce the intensity down of the symptoms, and along with that the counseling or the techniques will help. Okay, if it's too much, if you're not able to manage or control, right? And there is no harm in taking that. There is no harm or side effects of that. We also take medication for headache, right? We also take medications for viral fever, right? So even like there is a myth that you get addicted to it. No, there is no such thing. When you feel that the anxiety is coming down, when you feel that now you are able to function properly, so definitely your doctor will automatically say that now it's time to stop the medication. That's it, right? So there is a course
Ma'am,
for every medication, right? Yes.
ma'am, after knowing all the techniques, what if still we cannot work on it?
You cannot work on it.
Yeah.
So if like there is a mild level where you can work with it, but if you are still not able to control or work on that, so you need to take immediate help, right? You need to take immediate counseling for that.
Even after taking help, what if it doesn't work? Like
Even
multiple
after taking
times,
help.
yeah.
So then you need to see that, okay, what is the reason? Maybe something that, like you are feeling or you are thinking that way that it's not helping you. Nothing is helping you. Sometimes we have a belief also that nothing is working for me. That could be a reason if nothing is working.
Thank you.
Okay. But we always like, it's not only we stick to one thing or one technique. We keep changing it. If that is not working, then other thing. If that is not working, then other thing. But sometimes there are firm and fixed beliefs that a person thinks nothing is working for me, or I am not going to be okay, or this is not going to work for me. So that's a fixed belief. So definitely things will not work. That's what you are attracting, right? Yeah. Yes, Madhuri.
Yeah. Yeah, you gave these mindfulness techniques about breathing, cold water, and this water therapy, music thing. I want to know, apart from these techniques, verbally, what do you say? Verbally, is there anything which we can say to address anxiety? Any keywords, something which will probably work as well?
So verbally, it's always we talk about the thoughts more. We get into thoughts more. We talk about, okay, like right now, what is it? What are you feeling? Okay.
Hmm.
And through that feeling, okay, so is it any situation, any person that you can think of? Okay. So if they're not like able to like make eye contact and tell you, so ask them to close their eyes and think about it. Okay. So mostly it goes like that, right? So keep talking about the thoughts. So from thoughts, from the responses, we again like probe further. So probing is the thing. So it's not something that we use because a lot of times the verbal, we can only use the comforting gestures, right? Verbally, even the comforting statements are there, but you are there to listen to them. That's like automatically help them to calm their anxiety down, right? But don't come up with too many questions where their anxiety can increase. Okay, so when we see that, okay, too much is happening, it's like becoming overwhelming, on, they're not able to take it, then we stop there. Then we like, okay, breathe, take your time. It's okay, right? Because even too many questions can make them feel anxious. Okay. So it's just like where we probe. That's the whole process. We go ahead with that. Okay. And then slowly we then use, because first we need to know how their thoughts are working, how their process, how their mind is working. Then only we'll be able to use the technique. Right? This is for your learning, but of course, like when you do the proper thing, okay, so we'll teach step by step how we go about it. Right? Okay, so I hope I answered your questions. Yeah, so you got your answers for that. Okay, still there are any doubts, so I can answer like later on. You can
Ma'am,
put the questions.
can I ask
Yes,
a
yes.
question, please?
Khushbu, yes, please.
Yeah. Ma'am, actually, I'm a teacher, right? So, like many a times it happens that we have to repetitively say the same thing again and again to the children. And that is the major cause of stress in our mind. Like we were just stressing out and we just want them to learn. And we have to repeat the same thing every day. Same thing that we told yesterday. So at that point of time, how we have to be that much calm, we are patient, you can say like.
For
So
that,
that
you
is
need to practice patience.
because that's what is happening. Like even breathing exercise, I try like just to sit calmly for like my period is over, then I go and sit, then I do some 5 minutes breathing exercise. But still, it gets overwhelming sometimes. Like so how to deal with that overwhelming feeling? Like sometimes.
See, as I said that, when patience is a practice and it's a lifelong practice. So whichever profession you are in, no matter what, okay, you need to keep practicing that for you, for yourself. So especially in the classrooms when students are not listening, that's the only thing like, we try to interact with them more instead of saying, don't do it. Follow this, follow this. try to interact with them more. I understand, like, if you're a teacher, you know these techniques or tricks, but sometimes we, instead of, like asking them, we tell them more. Tell them, don't, don't do this, follow this, do this, ये मत करो, वो मत करो, like that. So instead of asking this, ठीक है कर लो, फिर ये कैसे करेंगे हम, इसका क्या होगा? So that will automatically start building your patience as well, and they will start following you also. It's not about, they will, like, you know enjoying the things. They start enjoying it more. And this tricks, like, I've applied in the classroom and it works. But not in one class. It's hard. It happens. Okay. Like multiple times you have to do it. Okay. Also, when for your patients, whatever the technique, the mindfulness practice, you need to keep doing it to increase your patience as well. This actually test your patience and build your patience at the same time. Right. So you also need to keep that in practice.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. All right. So I think we all are clear here with the anxiety and you will
Ma'am,
practice
one
it.
question, ma'am.
Yes, Akshata.
Ma'am, one of the government school teacher from a remote area, ma'am, she used to tell me that during sad situations, she used to feel anxiety. Whatever may be the sad situation, whether when she was going to see something bad or she used to feel sad like that, in that those kind of situations, she used to feel anxiety. She was asking me how can I reduce my anxiety in such situations and all. Only during
So
sad situations I feel like that, like anxiety used to what like that she was asking me, ma'am. One of the she's actually 49-year-old, ma'am, and she's going through menopause stage now. That
so
was the main reason I feel.
yes, that's the highlight. That's the
Yes,
highlighted
ma'am.
thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
during
yes,
menopause,
ma'am.
this happens. There is
Yeah.
sadness also. There are mood swings for no reason also. There is anxiety, like increased level of anxiety. A person can develop depressive symptoms also, right? But
Then she was asking me the tips, ma'am. How can I reduce it? Also, what can I do? She was asking me.
see, this is all together, like, I think my like last webinar was on menopause only. Now we shared the techniques in that in the same, but in this, I won't like recommend such techniques. But again, like the similar technique, you can go ahead with that. Whatever you have learned today, try and tell her, because we need to go sometimes in the history also. It's
Yes,
not
ma'am. Yeah,
only
yeah,
like
correct.
menopause is the highlight, but I don't know the full thing, so I can't say like, okay, they do this technique or do this, that. Maybe
Okay, ma'am.
something like from the past, anything would be related to it.
No, she was to tell, ma'am, when her son did not get this one a job, till then I was feeling anxiety at that time. Now he had got the job, and now I feel relaxed in that matter. But sometimes when I see a dog, when it is getting hurt, or some poor people, if I see that they don't have any food to eat, those situations, I was feeling very sad, and I used to get feel anxiety. She was narrating the examples, ma'am.
So here, I think Akshata, don't give her the technique, okay? Because there are like
Okay, ma'am.
multiple
Yeah.
things related to it. So ask her to, like, talk about it, or maybe consult a counselor. Okay, that would be better. Even if to
Okay,
get a
okay, ma'am.
clarity, or like if it's
She did
bothering.
not visit any psychiatric. She did not go anywhere, ma'am. A general doctor she met. She was telling me
General
general
doctor.
physician. Yeah, general physician she has met only.
So for anxiety, I would recommend a psychologist first, right? So recommend this to
Okay,
her.
ma'am.
Okay, don't go with the techniques, because we don't recommend the techniques like that without knowing the full thing. Okay, try not to do that also.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
So, uh, this is, thank you so much. Can you tell me your name, because your name is not flashing in the chat box? I attended, was also excellent. Thank you so much. This really means a lot. Very nice feedback. Thank you. Yeah, you need to tell me your name also. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. you're asking everyone or